The prestigious children's art exhibition was bustling with excitement as families, journalists, and art lovers admired the incredible works of young talent from across the nation. Camera flashes went off continuously as reporters scrambled for interviews and exclusive photos. Among them was Jordan Lewis, a hard-nosed journalist famous for his scathing critiques of public figures. He was constantly on the lookout for his next sensational story. When Barron Trump quietly entered the gallery, whispers immediately swept through the crowd. Standing at nearly 6 feet 7 inches, Barron was impossible to miss. His face remained calm and serious, though he occasionally smiled politely at those who approached him. Some attendees couldn't resist snapping discreet photos, while others whispered remarks about how much he had grown. Jordan saw his chance. A high-profile target like Barron would easily draw public attention. But Jordan wasn't just here for a photo, he wanted a viral moment. "Let's see if the golden boy can take some heat," Jordan muttered to himself. He strolled casually toward Barron, camera crew in tow. A few attendees nearby sensed trouble and watched nervously. Jordan cleared his throat loudly, ensuring he had everyone's attention before speaking. "Barron Trump," Jordan called out in an exaggeratedly cheerful voice, making sure his microphone caught every word. "Great to see you here. But I have to ask, what exactly qualifies you to be at an event celebrating young artists?" The room went silent, tension thick in the air. Several people exchanged uneasy glances. Barron, standing in front of a colorful abstract painting by a young artist, slowly turned to face Jordan. He didn't flinch or react emotionally. Instead, he looked Jordan straight in the eye, his calm demeanor both disarming and unsettling. "I'm here to support these young artists," Barron said simply. "Is that a problem?" Jordan chuckled, hoping to regain control of the moment. "Oh, no problem at all. I'm just curious, do you know anything about art? Or are you here because your last name opens doors?" Some in the crowd gasped softly. A woman near the front whispered, "That's crossing the line." Barron remained unfazed. After a brief pause, he responded, his voice steady but firm. "Art isn't about who you are or where you come from. It's about stories, expressing ideas and emotions that words sometimes can't. Today is about these children and their stories. I'm here to honor their work." Jordan's smirk faltered slightly. He hadn't expected such a composed response. Still, he pressed on. "Oh, come on, Barron. Be real. People are watching because you're a Trump. Admit it. If you didn't have that last name, would anyone care that you're here today?" Barron took a slow breath, gathering his thoughts. The crowd leaned in, hanging on his every word. "You seem to care," Barron said quietly, his gaze unwavering. "Enough to come over here and try to get a reaction from me." The crowd chuckled softly at Barron's response. Jordan's face flushed slightly, but Barron wasn't done. "You know, Mr. Lewis, it's easy to criticize when you're holding a microphone. But do you ever think about the impact of your words? These children worked for months to create something they're proud of. They don't need negativity today. They need support and encouragement, just like your own kids probably do." Jordan blinked, momentarily stunned. "What does that have to do with anything?" Barron tilted his head slightly. "Everything. You mentioned earlier that you have 2 children. Do you criticize their work like this? Or do you uplift them?" The journalist opened his mouth but found himself speechless. Memories of rushing through his son's art projects and dismissing them as just scribbles flashed through his mind. He hadn't realized how dismissive he had been until now. Barron continued, his voice gentle but resolute. "We all have a responsibility to uplift the next generation. These moments matter to them more than you realize. So instead of tearing people down, maybe you should think about how you can inspire." The crowd erupted in applause. Parents and children smiled in admiration. One man whispered, "That kid's wise beyond his years." Jordan, now visibly shaken, finally lowered his microphone. He looked around at the supportive faces in the crowd, realizing how badly he had misjudged the situation. "You're right," Jordan said softly. "You're absolutely right. I shouldn't have said what I did. I apologize, not just to you but to everyone here." Barron nodded graciously. "Apologies are a good first step. It's what you do after that counts." With that, Barron turned back to the painting he had been admiring, a stunning mural of children holding hands beneath a giant tree, symbolizing unity and hope. He spent the next hour engaging with the young artists, asking them questions about their inspirations and techniques. They beamed with pride, thrilled to have his undivided attention. Meanwhile, Jordan quietly walked away from the scene, lost in thought. For the first time in years, he felt a deep pang of reflection. That evening, when he returned home, he found his son waiting eagerly with a new drawing. "Hey, Dad! Look what I made," his son exclaimed, holding up a picture of a rocket ship. Jordan knelt down, taking the time to really look at the drawing. "This is amazing," he said sincerely. "Tell me all about it." His son's eyes lit up with excitement as he launched into an enthusiastic explanation. For the first time in years, Jordan truly listened, realizing the lesson Barron had taught him. The next day, social media exploded with praise for Barron Trump's composure and wisdom. The video of the confrontation went viral, racking up millions of views. People from all political backgrounds shared it, admiring how a young man had demonstrated maturity, empathy, and grace in the face of public criticism. "Barron Trump just taught us all a lesson in kindness and class," one user tweeted. "He handled that journalist with more maturity than most adults," another commented. The story was featured on major news outlets, and Barron received letters of support from people all over the world. However, Barron himself remained humble, uninterested in the newfound attention. For him, the real success was seeing the young artists gain the recognition they deserved. In the end, it wasn't just an art exhibition, it was a day that changed lives. And perhaps the most important transformation was that of a father who finally learned how to truly see and support his son.